I think there are three aspects to what Ukrainians want from European integration. The first is symbolic, drawing an even thicker line between Ukraine and Russia, anchoring Ukraine in the European community, finishing the process that began in 2004 with the Orange Revolution, when Ukrainians first took to the streets to demand a European future for their country. Then there's an economic aspect. Ukrainians are very well aware of what the European Union has done for neighbouring countries, particularly Poland, which is now far, far, far richer than Ukraine, whilst the two countries in 1991, when Ukraine became independent, were comparable. Actually, Ukraine had a slightly higher GDP. Then there's making it that much easier for Ukrainians to live and work in richer Western European countries, send remittances home. So it's not only about the structural funds, the money coming from the European Union. And then, of course, there's the reforms. That's going to be what makes this process of negotiation difficult and long. But it's also, Ukrainian activists say, the only way to guarantee that the Ukrainian government will push ahead with the very, very necessary anti-corruption reforms of the labour market, strengthening of the rule of law, all these things that Ukraine needs. For years now, civil society activists have been using the carrot and the promises made by Ukrainian leaders of European integration to put pressure on those very leaders via the European Union and other international institutions as well, to make conditions and only allow Ukraine to move forward in this process if these very necessary reforms are introduced. It's also about democracy. Recently, I was in Hungary talking to a young activist there who's very worried about democratic backsliding and authoritarianism in Hungary, but nevertheless said that she felt that as long as the country remained a member of the European Union, it could never go all that far, because the EU nevertheless is some kind of a safeguard of democracy. And I think that a lot of Ukrainians would very much like to be able to say the same.